guys, good morning and welcome. Welcome to the 𝗥𝗵𝗲 and Alkas show. Thank you for joining us each and every morning. We are so grateful that you can join us because we have been talking about money, success, your mindset around money. And a lot of people, they struggle with money and they don't know how to get out of debt. So it is a huge topic, for discussion, but we always want to implore our knowledge on you so that it helps you to grow in your business and in your personal lives. So welcome. My name is Alka.
And my name is Ria.
And welcome
to our
show. So Ria, I'm going to pass the mic on to you.
Thank you, Alka. So today's topic is Increase Our Financial IQ by Robert Kiyosaki. So if you allow me, I'm going to be reading a couple of paragraphs in the book of Increase Your Financial IQ. So today's topic, just one of them, would be solving other people's financial problems. Rich Dad also said, many people work for rich people, solving rich people's money problems. For example, an accountant goes to work to count rich person's money. The salesperson sells the rich person's products. The office manager manages the rich person's business. The secretary answers the rich person's phones and treats the rich person's customers respectfully. The maintenance man keeps the rich person's building and machines running smoothly. A lawyer protects the rich person from other lawyers and lawsuits. A CPA protects the rich person's money from taxes. And the banker keeps the rich person's money safe. What Rich Dad was getting at was that most people work at solving other people's money problems. But who solves the workers' money problems? Most people go home and are faced with many problems, money being one of them. If a person fails to handle his or her money problems at home, the problem is like a toothache. It leads to other problems. Many of the poor and middle class work for the rich and then fail to solve their own money problems at home. Instead of looking at financial problems as opportunities to get smarter, they go home, sit in their lawn chair, have a drink, put a steak on the grill, and watch TV. The next morning, they return once again to work, solving someone else's problem and making someone else richer. Very, very true, Alka. I was this not long time ago. I was working as a W-2 employee, clocking in, clocking out as a resident physician not too long ago. I graduated from SUNY State University of New York Family Medicine. So I would be working at 8 o'clock in the morning if I'm doing my day shift, 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 p.m. And I was a resident physician. So all my life, I was learning about medicine and I was ignoring finances. I was working for the big corporation of medical health system. And I didn't realize that when I go home, that I have to learn about finances because it is only you that can solve our money problems, not others. Yes, our boss gives us, our employers gives us money, gives us income. But if we do not know how to use that money to work harder for us, then we will never grow it. There is a saying that goes, it's not the money you have, it's what you do with the money you have and how you invest it so that it can grow. What do you think, Alka?
Yeah, I do agree with that because, I mean, there is truth in that because if any employee, whether you're in the medical profession or not, it doesn't matter. You get your monthly payment, you get, whatever you do get paid, but you get that check, or whether it's deposited into your bank account. Either way, is what do you do with the money? Because say, for example, you get the check, and Rhea and I, we talked about it. A lotto winner, for example, can get $1 million, the check. But what do they do with that? What do they do with the money? I mean, we don't know as to what they do. But if you are not wise with your money, then you will never learn. So Rhea, I do agree with that, because there is truth in, if you don't learn what you're going to do with that $1 million check that you're going to get, then you will never know. So then the basics of investing that $1 million check, because if you just invest, if you learn from just a lotto winner, not just at an employment, but of course an employment, even then it is the same thing. You need to know, what are you doing with the money? Are you blowing it all away in nonsensical things, like Rhea just said, just going out for drinks, and you're just, blowing your money just because that environment is where you belong. But that doesn't mean that you are financially well-being, and you don't have that financial knowledge as to what you're doing. So Rhea, I think there's an absolute truth in that, is what are you doing and what are you not doing? is the question. What are you not doing? That's a great point.
What are you not doing? So moving on, Alka, poor dad's solution. My poor dad tried to solve his money problems by going back to school. He liked school. He did well in school and felt safe. He obtained higher degrees and became a PhD. With advanced degrees, he looked for higher paying jobs. He tried to outsmart his money problems by becoming academically and professionally smarter, but failed to become financially smarter. He was a well-educated, hardworking man. Unfortunately, being well-educated and hardworking did not solve his money problems. His money problems only grew bigger as his income went up, because he avoided his financial problems. He tried to solve his financial problems with academic and professional solutions. And you know what, Alka? I can relate to that, because why? My husband loves medicine. Okay, I kudos to him. He's like the Dr. 𝗔𝗹𝗸 of radiology. And he told me before, he wants to be a lawyer. He wants to defend the doctors. And he wants to do another fellowship. I'm like, you already have pediatric specialty. You already did, wow, 1 year more. So radiology is 4 years. And to do another specialty, it could be 1 or 2 or 3 years, depending. But he did 1 year more of pediatric radiology. So over the years, he shared, oh, I want to do MSK, musculoskeletal. And I'm like, that's more professionally enriching us, but does it solve our financial problems? So because when as a resident physician transition to becoming an attending physician, yes, the income goes up, right? The incomes doubles, triples, it depends. It can be 10x as well. But we have to realize, I realized back then that, when you become an attending physician, now you start buying bigger houses. Now you start to buy flashy cars. Now you want to go on extravagant vacations. So what's happening? Yes, we have higher income, but we also have higher expenses, and we are not fixing our own financial problems. What a lot of us do is we think that by having higher education, just like the Robert Kiyosaki's dad, he had a PhD. His PhD did not solve his financial problems. And just like with majority of us, having another specialty, another subspecialty on top of this subspecialty is not fixing our financial problems. When we look, when we accept, when we acknowledge, yes, we have financial problems. We have high income, but we also high expense, and we have high taxes. So now we've got to look at that financial equation. High income, high expense, high taxes. What do we need to do? We need financial education.
Well, remember the chapter when I talked about specialized knowledge? So specialized knowledge, and there were two forms that I had talked about, general and specialized. There are two methods, general and specialized. So a person that has an abundance of education, as Rhea's husband wants to get another qualification. It could be another 4 years, 5 years, right, Rhea? I'm not sure how many years it might take, but having an abundance of education does not mean that, you know, those problems, they go away easily, because there's going to be more problems. If you don't solve the problem that lies in front of you right now, and you're looking for like further education, which is great. I applaud people, you know, continuing education, you know, it's all for it. But are you at the same time in control of your finances? Are you in control at the same time? How do you manage money? And so, Rhea, I think, you know, we all need to learn the basics, the fundamental of money management, because money management is something that we are not taught, even as adults, even people at the later stage in the game, you know, in their 40s, 50s, still, some people are still not sound when it comes to money. I'm a perfect example. I am still learning. I'm still learning. You know, I have investments, but I'm still learning as to what's the best way that I want to, you know, build that network. What is the best way? What am I doing? What do I have to do? And what do I have to do? I'm willing to learn from anyone. But friends, it comes down to, are you willing to learn? So, Rhea, that's the key question. Do people need to learn?
Thank you, Alka.
And willing and able. Are you willing and able?
Are you willing and able to change things in your financial problems? Now, moving on, rich dad solution. Earlier, we did poor dad solution. Now, let's learn from the rich dad's solution. My rich dad looked for financial challenges, which is why he started business and actively invested. Many people thought he did what he did only to make more money. In reality, he did what he did because he loved financial challenges. He looked for financial problems to solve, not just for the money, but to make him smarter and to increase his financial IQ. Rich Dad often used the game of golf as a metaphor to explain his money philosophy. He would say, money is my score. My financial statement is my scorecard. Money and my financial statement tell me how smart I am and how well I am playing the game. Simply put, Rich Dad got richer because the game of money was his game, and he wanted to be the best he could be at his game. And as he got older, he got better at his game. His financial IQ went up and the money poured in. So you see, Alka, the rich dad solution is to look for financial problems. Can you imagine looking for financial problems? And this is what I say. How many people have you served? How many people's lives have you touched? Because if you solve your community's problem, community is thousands and millions of people. If you solve the community's problem, they will give you money as a return for the services that you've provided in helping them with their problem. So we should not be afraid to solve other people's problem, because why? That increases our financial intelligence. We have to go look not for a problem, we have to go look for a financial problem that exists in our community. And what do I do personally? I go look for properties. Why? Because my tenants, my doctors need housing close to the hospital. And what do? I've been here only for 10 years in my community, but others have not done it. So what do? I try to look for, solve their problems. And now we have 67 apartment units, and majority of my tenants are doctors, and they live in my properties. So what they do in return is they give me income. They give me money because I solve their housing problem, which is a house close to the hospital.
And Ria, thank you for sharing that. You know, many a times, and I've often seen this, many a times people want to solve the world's problem. But how can we solve the world's problem when the problem is at hand at home, right?
That's deep.
It's at home. So we need to solve our problems at home. Friends, we need to solve our problems first before we can solve the world's problem, because the world's problem is, you know, the billions, millions of people. How are we going to solve billions and millions of people on this planet if we cannot solve our problems, immediate problems at home? So friends, that is very important. That's the key point. What we are sharing is that you have to solve, look internally, look around you, look at home, and how are you managing, first of all, your finances? How are you all managing the basics that's required? Because after you are well versed in managing the basics, and you can manage now the community, then you can solve and go out there and solve the world's problem, i.e., if you want to donate to the war, yes, you can. But, you know, take note of what's happening right here, right now at home.
Thank you, Alka. That's a great point. In order for you to help the bigger community, the bigger world, you've got to help you first. Moving on. Who should play the game of money? Do I think everyone should pay this game of money? My answer is, like it or not, everyone is already playing the game of money. Rich or poor, we are all involved in the game of money. The difference is some people play harder, know the rules, and use them to their advantage more than others. Some people are more dedicated, more passionate, more committed to learning and to winning. When it comes to the game of money, most people are playing, if they know they are playing at all, not to lose rather than playing to win. Since we're all involved in the game of money anyway, better questions may be, are you a student of the game of money? Are you dedicated to the winning the game? Are you passionate about learning? Are you willing to be the best you can be? Do you want to be as rich as you can be? If you are, then continue listening to Alka and me. If you're not there, then there's a long way to go. In summary, Alka, the lesson to be remembered from this chapter is that rich or poor, we all have money problems. The only way to get rich and increase your financial intelligence is to actively solve your money problems. The poor and the middle class tend to avoid addressing money problems or pretend they don't have them. The problem with this attitude is that their money problems persist and their financial intelligence grows slowly, if at all. The rich take on financial problems. They know that solving financial problems make them smarter and increase their financial IQ. The rich know that it is financial intelligence, not money, ultimately makes you rich. I repeat, it is financial intelligence and not money ultimately makes you rich. The problem with the poor and the middle class is they don't have enough money. The rich have the problem of too much money. Both are real and legitimate problems. The question is, which problem do you want? If you want the problem of having too much money, then read on. So if you want to know more about how to have filthy, stinking, more money, then you've got to stay tuned on Alka and Ria's show. Stay tuned with us, guys, and we'll share with you more our readings of our books and our own personal experiences, our own personal story. So, Alka, we're almost here. We're at the end of the road, so they can stay tuned. Tomorrow is Thursday for our next show.
Exactly. Can't believe it's already Thursday. But Ria, thank you so much for sharing that amazing nuggets. My friends, I hope you got tons of information what Ria has shared, because I sure did. And so just to recap, stay tuned and, just have that finesse about managing the basics, because that's all we want you to do, is to manage your basics, how to invest money, how, when you have the check, when you get the money, whether it's from your employment, whether you won a lottery, what do you do with that money? And so the question is how, and what are you not doing? What should you do, but what are you not doing currently? So friends, stay tuned for more what we're going to be sharing with you, because I know, when we talk about money, there's so much, there's lots to digest. And, Ria and I want to always implore our knowledge onto you so that you make the best of your life for you, your family, and future generations to come. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining. As always, we appreciate you. We love you, and we always want you to just grow with us, because when you're growing and you are now managing your household, you're managing your finances, that is the best place to be. So guys, stay tuned. We will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. And Ria, thank you for sharing with us today. So see you guys.